On today's video, I'm going to be working on a Husqvarna 123L string trimmer. The customer brought this trimmer into the shop and said it was not working. There was some gas leaking. So I'm going to show you in this video taking it apart, trying to troubleshoot what's wrong with it and see if we can get it fixed and back out in the field. But before we jump into the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you guys subscribe to the channel, you are the first ones to get the new content that I put out of repairs that come through the shop on a daily basis. First thing we're going to do is pop the top of the air filter off, but there is no air filter. That could be part of our problem. Next thing we're going to do is take the shroud cover off so we can remove the spark plug and inspect the muffler area. There's 3 screws that hold the shroud on, 1 in the front, 2 in the back. In order to take your spark plug off, rotate the spark plug boot back and forth and then pull off. That way you're not removing the contact spring by accident. Now I'm going to remove the muffler cover so that way I can inspect the spark arrestor. Here's the spark arrestor. You can see that it's clear. I'm just going to pull it out here to show you a little bit better. But if these get completely blocked, you'll have problems with running issues. You should be able to see straight through them and there shouldn't be any carbon buildup. Next, I want to remove the muffler so that way I can inspect the exhaust side of the piston. Here's a look at the piston. The bottom has a nice silver color, but once you get to the top, it is completely black. You do not want your piston to look like this. This is going to cause some running issues. Now I am going to blow inside the cylinder walls because there was a lot of fuel in there. It appears to be flooded, so I'm going to get this taken care of before I put the muffler back on. The next thing I'm going to inspect is going to be the carburetor. I'm going to take this off and clean it. And I'm also going to end up replacing the fuel lines because I can see that a few of them are cracked and completely worn out. And here's one of our culprits, a broken fuel line. Now I'm going to disassemble this carburetor and run it through my ultrasonic cleaner. This is the fuel line grommet. I'm pushing the new fuel line through this, and then once I get it started, I'm going to put it back into the tank and push it through the rest of the way. Here's a look at the fuel line and grommet back in place. I'm going to cut another section of hose to fit on the purge bulb. Now I'm going to be doing the other section of fuel line. The first one I did was a return. Now this one's going to be the one that connects to the fuel filter. I use a little pressed fluid oil so that way the hose doesn't stick on the grommet. You can use any type of lightweight oil. Once I get a little bit of this line pulled through, I'm going to grab it with my needle nose pliers and pull it through the rest of the way. I'm going to reinstall this hose into the tank, push the grommet back in, and then I'm going to reach through where you fill the fuel tank and grab onto the line with my tool, and then I'm going to pull it out and connect the fuel filter. This unit setup has a little ring that goes on there, so put that on first, then plug your fuel filter on, and then roll the ring down onto the fuel filter once it's connected. Carburetor's clean, now it's time to reassemble it. Now I'm going to reinstall the carburetor by connecting the fuel lines. I use 2 different colored fuel lines just because that's what I had on hand. They are different sizes. Now I'm going to reinstall the throttle linkage on this air filter housing. You need to line your holes with the air filter housing, with the carburetor holes, and with the holes that are on the cylinder. The best way to do this is taking a screw and working it in from the back side, and then going through each section until they're all aligned. There is 1 screw that holds on the top of the air filter housing. And here's a look at the finished product with everything installed. Now I'm going to purge the fuel lines so you start seeing fuel move through them. All right, got this Husqvarna 123L trimmer done. We went through, did a service, so spark plug, cleaned the fuel filter. I had to build an air filter because I couldn't get them. Replaced all the fuel lines. Fuel lines are rotten, cracked, and we're not pulling fuel into the carburetor. And you guys saw when I started outside, it was running a little rough, so I did take the carburetor in and adjust it. And once I did the adjustment, the trimmer ran fine. The serial tag on this trimmer says it's from 2004 manufacturing date. So 21 years old, that's a pretty good life for a trimmer. One thing that I did notice for the longevity of this unit is going to be the piston. Over time, this piston is going to have issues. Right now, it's black. If you pull the muffler off and look at the exhaust side of the piston, it's just been years and years and years of wear. So eventually, that's going to have problems. But for right now, it seems to be working. If you guys did find this video helpful, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe down below. Also, make sure you guys check out the description down below. In the description, I'm going to list a lot of my Amazon affiliate links for tools. If you want to support the channel, that's a great way to do so. I'm also going to list parts that may be helpful on these repairs as well. So again, like the video, subscribe, check out the description below. And again, thank you guys for tuning into my channel, watching the video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.